What really happened between Angel Reese and her coach, Tyler Marsh? We all saw the game. We all saw him bench her on national television. And since then, everyone has been asking the same question. Why? The popular theories are that it was punishment for a bad game, or maybe the coach was just sending a message to a team that was getting destroyed. But what if I told you the real reason is something deeper? What if I told you Angel Reese has broken her silence on the matter, just not in the way you think? The truth has been hiding in plain sight, buried in a heartbreaking message from months ago that puts this entire season and this specific humiliating moment in a completely new light. This isn't just about one loss. This is about loyalty, betrayal, and a ghost in the Chicago Sky locker room that might be tearing this team apart from the inside out. To understand what's really going on, you first have to remember the scene of the crime. The Chicago Sky were facing the Phoenix Mercury, and to say it was a disaster would be an understatement.
The Chicago Sky are one of the worst basketball teams I've ever seen. And today, their coach literally just waved the white flag. He quit. Wow, someone said they feel sorry for Angel Reese. Like she ain't part of the reason the Chicago Sky suck. Hilarious.
It was a total collapse, broadcast live for the entire country to see. The Sky's biggest and most glaring weakness, their defense on the perimeter, was surgically dismantled. The Phoenix Mercury set a new franchise record against them, hitting an unbelievable 17 three-pointers. They weren't just taking shots, they were running layup lines from behind the arc. Analysts on the broadcast said they were getting practice-level looks, which is a damning indictment of the Sky's effort and scheme. And in the middle of this firestorm was Angel Reese, the dominant, board-crashing force who built her reputation on energy and effort, was a ghost. She finished the game with just 9 points and a career-low 2 rebounds. For a player who led the entire WNBA in rebounding just a season prior, that number is almost impossible to believe. She was described as anonymous and unrecognizable, and her performance was capped with a negative 25 plus-minus rating, the worst on the team. And then it happened. Early in the third quarter, with the game already spiraling out of control, Coach Tyler Marsh made the call. He didn't just pull one player, he pulled them all. He benched his entire starting lineup, sending a shockwave through the arena and across social media. The message to everyone watching seemed painfully clear.
He literally just said, Phoenix Mercury, destroy us even more than you're destroying us right now. He basically benched all of his starters not long into the third quarter, just gave up.
He gave up. In the middle of a nationally televised game, the head coach of the Chicago Sky threw in the towel. That's not just our interpretation. That was the consensus from fans, reporters, and analysts across the league. The move was immediately labeled a disgusting display of hoops, and the word quitter was attached to Tyler Marsh's name all over social media.
That Chicago Sky coach pulled his starters at the top of the third quarter. It's a disgusting display of hoops. He has to be fired sooner than later. Dude gave up. Dude threw in the damn towel.
The backlash was intense and immediate. How could a coach, any coach, so blatantly give up on his team with nearly half the game left to play? It wasn't just a bad look. It felt like an admission of failure. A public surrender that confirmed every negative narrative about the team's lack of fight and internal chaos.
Sky coach benched his starters for most of the third quarter, still to play in a nationally televised game. Effing quitter. Chicago Sky loves getting humiliated on national TV. I'm so sick of the Chicago Sky. The way this league ballooned is nasty work. Their defense is terrible. It's awful. It's awful.
So it begs the question, why? Why would a coach make a decision so controversial, so guaranteed to bring down a storm of criticism upon himself and his organization? Was this really just about one bad game? Was he so disgusted with their effort that he chose public humiliation as a teaching tool? That's the easy answer, but it's not the real one. To find the truth, you have to look past this game. You have to look past the box score, past the terrible defense, and past Angel Reese's 2 rebounds. You have to go back in time to September 2024, back before Tyler Marsh was the head coach, back when the team was led by a WNBA Hall of Famer, a beloved figure named Teresa Weatherspoon. Weatherspoon, affectionately known as Teaspoon, was hired to lead the Sky. But after just one season where the team finished with a 13-27 record, the organization made a shocking move. They fired her. The decision stunned many around the league, but for one player in particular, it wasn't just a shock, it was a betrayal. And her reaction to that firing is the key that unlocks this entire mystery. That player, of course, was Angel Reese. And when the news broke that Teresa Weatherspoon was fired, Reese didn't issue a generic, politically correct statement. She went to social media and poured her heart out. In a post that now looks like a prophetic warning for the Sky's entire season, she laid her loyalty bare for the world to see. She wrote, and I'm quoting directly from her post, "I'm heartbroken. I'm literally lost for words knowing what this woman meant to me in such a pivotal point in my life. She was the only person that believed in me." Think about those words. The only person that believed in me. And then she delivered the line that hangs over this franchise like a storm cloud. A direct message to Weatherspoon that was also, indirectly, a message to the Sky front office and her future coach. She wrote, "I came to Chicago because of you." Let that sink in. Her loyalty wasn't to the uniform. It wasn't to the city. It wasn't to the organization that drafted her. It was to one person, a person who was now gone. This single statement is the truth that has been hiding in plain sight. This is the broken silence. The day Weatherspoon was fired was the day the foundation of Angel Reese's commitment to the Chicago Sky was fractured. Now, imagine you are Tyler Marsh, a decorated assistant coach, yes, but a rookie head coach in the WNBA. You're given your first big shot, and you walk into a locker room where your star player, the face of your franchise, has already publicly declared that she's only there because of the person you just replaced. That's not just a tough situation. That's an impossible one. Marsh didn't just inherit a team with a bad record. He inherited a star player whose trust had been shattered by the organization that now employed them both. He wasn't just a new coach. He was the living symbol of her mentor's dismissal. Every single decision, every drill, every play call he would ever make was going to be judged against the ghost of the coach Reese wanted, the coach she believed in. And that brings us back to the current criticism of how he's using her.
Sky coach benched his starters for most of the third quarter, still to play in a nationally televised game. Effing quitter. Chicago Sky loves getting humiliated on national TV. I'm so sick of the Chicago Sky. The way this league ballooned is nasty work. Their defense is terrible. It's awful. It's awful.
That criticism, that he's taking away the one thing she does best, hits differently now, doesn't it? It's no longer just a strategic debate. It starts to feel like a fundamental disconnect between a coach and a star player, who may never have been on the same page to begin with. With that context, let's look at the benching again. Let's re-examine that moment not just as a coach pulling a struggling player, but as a boiling point in a silent, months-long conflict. Was Tyler Marsh just frustrated with a 20-point blowout, or was this something more? In the world of competitive sports, where psychology and power dynamics are just as important as X's and O's, you have to wonder, was this a power move? Was this a rookie head coach feeling the immense pressure of his new job and perhaps sensing the disconnect with his star player, deciding to use a moment of national television exposure to make an undeniable statement about who is in charge? The timing is what makes this so suspicious. According to analysts watching the game, Marsh didn't pull Reese when she was at her worst. He pulled her right after she hit a three-pointer, a rare make for her. She was, as one observer put it, just starting to get into a rhythm.
He hits a three, starts to get in a rhythm, one shot. So what does Tyler do? He benched her and Cardoso. Phoenix Suns starters are killing the Chicago Sky bench players. In fairness, they were killing the starters too.
Think about how backward that is. Your star player who has been invisible all night finally does something positive and your immediate reaction is to send her to the bench for the rest of the game, it's a decision that seems to defy all basketball logic, but it makes perfect sense if you view it as a message. I don't care if you just hit a shot. I am in control here. Your rhythm is on my schedule, not yours. Now, to be fair to Tyler Marsh, this dynamic isn't entirely new for Angel Reese. The narrative of a high-profile coach benching her for reasons that go beyond the box score has a precedent. We saw a similar, highly public situation unfold during her college career at LSU. In November 2023, her legendary coach, Kim Mulkey, benched Reese for an entire half, calling it nothing more than a coach's decision, and refusing to elaborate further amid rumors of team turmoil. So this pattern of public friction between Reese and her head coach, it didn't start in Chicago. This history adds another layer of complexity, suggesting that navigating the player-coach relationship with a star of her magnitude is a challenge that even a Hall of Fame coach like Weatherspoon and a national champion coach like Mulkey have struggled with. And this is where the story gets even more complicated, because just when you think you have it figured out, that it's a simple case of a player loyal to her old coach and a new coach trying to assert his dominance, Angel Reese does something that seems to contradict everything. She defends him publicly. After a tough loss to the Atlanta Dream, just a week before the Phoenix disaster, with fans already grumbling about the new coach, Reese stepped up to the microphone. Instead of letting the blame fall on Marsh, she tried to shield him. She said, quote, "We have to give Tyler grace because he's a rookie coach too. He's the head coach, but it's us on the floor. We have to look ourselves in the mirror. We don't point the finger." So what is going on here? How can she be heartbroken over the firing of the only person that believed in her, and then turn around and publicly call for everyone to give her replacement grace? Is this just good media training? Is she just saying what a team leader is supposed to say, protecting her coach in public while the frustrations simmer in private? Or is it a genuine reflection of her own internal conflict? Perhaps she does feel a disconnect with Marsh's coaching style, while simultaneously understanding the immense pressure he's under as a first-year head coach. The truth is, this public defense doesn't debunk the theory. It actually makes it stronger. The very fact that she feels the need to make such a statement proves how much tension is bubbling just beneath the surface. It shows that she is constantly. This isn't a simple story. It's a tangled web of loyalty, history, and pressure. You have a franchise in chaos, you have a star player whose allegiance was sworn to a mentor who was cast aside, and you have a new coach trying to build his own culture on top of the ruins of the old one. When you put all those volatile elements together in one locker room, a clash isn't just possible, it's inevitable. It was a powder keg waiting for a match. And that nationally televised game against Phoenix, the embarrassing defensive breakdowns, Reese's shocking performance, and the coach's dramatic benching, that wasn't the cause of the fire. That was just the explosion. The fallout from this inevitable collision isn't contained to just a coach and a star player. It ripples outward, affecting the entire organization and contributing to the on-court chaos we see every game night. When there's a fundamental disconnect at the very top of the team's hierarchy, it's impossible to build a cohesive unit. It helps explain why analysts look at the Sky's roster and all they can say is that the team feels strategically broken.
They're not at a level high enough to compete with these teams, which is a surprise because I think Beck Allen had been good. I think she's a good player. It's just, I don't even know what the Sky have done wrong. Like, the pieces just don't fit. Like, their only point guard is Hailey Van Lith. Like, Ariel Atkins is starting at the 1 right now.
That feeling that the pieces just don't fit might be less about the individual player's skills and more about the lack of a singular trusted vision guiding them. If the players feel the coach isn't putting their star teammate in the best position to succeed, or if they see him make baffling decisions like the third quarter benching, how can they be expected to fully buy into his system? This is how trust erodes. And when trust is gone, the void is often filled with the most extreme and damaging theories. The lack of logical explanation for the coach's actions has led a significant portion of the online fan base to a dark conclusion, that this isn't just incompetence, it's intentional. The theory that Coach Marsh is actively sabotaging the Chicago Sky has gained a shocking amount of traction.
Tyler Marsh is sabotaging the Chicago Sky. Yes, the team is ass, but giving up in the third quarter is unacceptable. Chicago Sky might be the worst basketball team to ever exist. It's real bad.
Now, is that a fair accusation? It's impossible for us to know what's truly in his heart, but it's a direct consequence of his actions. When a coach publicly quits on his team in the third quarter, he creates an environment where fans and critics start to question his motives. The sabotage narrative is a symptom of a much deeper disease, a complete breakdown of faith between the coaching staff, the players, and the fan base, all stemming from that original sin of firing a coach his star player was completely devoted to. This leaves the entire Chicago Sky franchise teetering on the edge of a cliff. The coach's job is in jeopardy. The star player's development is at a critical crossroads, and the front office has to confront the catastrophic consequences of a decision they made almost a year ago. So when you ask why Angel Reese's coach really benched her, the truth is, the answer has almost nothing to do with what happened on the court against Phoenix. The benching wasn't a punishment for a bad stat line or a lack of effort. It was the public, visible snapping point of a deep internal fracture that has been weakening the Chicago Sky franchise for almost a year. It was the inevitable result of a story that began the moment the Sky front office decided to fire Teresa Weatherspoon. That single decision set off a chain reaction. It devastated their newly drafted star player, a player who made it explicitly clear that her loyalty was to her mentor, not the organization. It put her replacement, rookie head coach Tyler Marsh, in the impossible position of leading a player who likely viewed him as a constant reminder of what she had lost. The tension born from that decision created an environment of distrust and instability, where every coaching move is scrutinized, and every player action is viewed through a lens of potential conflict. This is why a questionable emotional benching on national TV can spiral into fan theories about active sabotage. The truth is that the foundation was broken from the start. What we're all watching now isn't just a basketball team struggling with losses, it's a case study in organizational mismanagement. It's a cautionary tale for the entire league about what happens when the human element of the game is ignored, and how the ghost of one decision can haunt a team long after the ink on the termination papers is dry. The Chicago Sky's biggest problem isn't their defense or their offense, it's their history. But that's just our breakdown. We want to know what you think. Let us know in the comments. Who do you think holds the most responsibility for the chaos in Chicago? Is it Coach Tyler Marsh for his questionable decisions, Angel Reese for her history of friction, or the Sky front office for firing Teresa Weatherspoon in the first place? While you're down there, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss our next deep dive into the biggest dramas in the WNBA. And finally, if you know a Sky fan who needs to see this breakdown, do them a favor and share this video. While you're down there, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss our next deep dive into the biggest dramas in the WNBA.